All right, everyone, welcome back into another Masters video. Going to be breaking down all the best values here, whether that be for PGA DFS or for betting purposes, top 10 bets, top 20 bets. That's going to be for you guys to decide, but we're just going to talk about all those golfers that are giving us a lot of value. Let's go ahead and get into it. So one player that I've already touched on a bunch is going to be Keegan Bradley. So just to reiterate, he is a good value this week, quite clearly. Okay, he's priced at $7K on DraftKings. He is someone that, even at 135 to 1, I think he's an okay outright bet as well. Someone that I do like as a good placement bet as well. The reason why is he has decent enough course history, 2 top 25 finishes here over the past 4 years. Really like that there. Recent form is solid, top 10 in the field. He also is someone that's playing at the Valero Texas Open. Kind of a so-so round 3 as I'm recording this video. The Sunday rounds are going on. He is someone that maybe if he finishes terribly on Sunday, I might not be on him as much, but if he's someone that has a decent Sunday or a great Sunday, I definitely think he's going to be someone that we're looking at as a value, especially at this price tag. He's going to be a top 10 stat fit, really looking like a great play across the board. Now, another golfer that's looking like a very good value this week is going to be Lucas Glover, who also is a golfer that has course history here with the top 20 finish at this tournament last year, and then 3 years ago, top 30 finish. So at his price tag, we'll take that. We'll take a made cut, which I think would also be a good bet for him as well. He is someone that the form has been a little bit spotty. Okay, he's had a couple of miscuts on the number, which you don't like, but recently he has 2 top 10 finishes. So that bodes well for him as well. Obviously, with it being a major, you expect these golfers to turn up a little bit and be a little bit more mentally focused. So maybe some of those miscuts on the number would be a little bit better for someone like Lucas Glover, who has been playing some solid golf. So 3 straight make cuts in a row. Relatively good stat fit as well, top 20 in the field. Wouldn't be shocking to see him play well, and he's a value that I don't think many people will be on, whereas like Keegan Bradley and the next value that I'm going to touch on, I think a lot of people will be on because they are pretty darn clear and obvious. All right, so the next value that I really like is going to be Denny McCarthy, who Denny McCarthy is a golfer that is playing on Sunday here for the Valero Texas Open that is currently having a top 10. And so if that continues, guys, that will be a top 10, a 14th, a 16th, a 48th, which is okay, 5th, a 16th. Really good form for him. He's made 12 straight cuts. It will have, now it's 13 straight make cuts as well on the PGA Tour. He's a golfer that does have course experience here, finishing 45th at this event last year. Right now, he's not currently the best stat fit. Once we factor in the Valero Texas Open stats, given the fact that he's having a good week, I could see this 39th stat rank be a little bit better, probably closer to about 32. And so that's, just to reiterate, guys, the most important data point that we get each week is the tournament that took place most recently for a golfer. Okay, statistically, that is the most important there. Now, obviously, that's just a piece of the pie there, a piece of the equation. It's not the end-all be-all, but that does matter. And so we are going to factor in there. But either way, he is one of the best values, especially point per dollar wise. Now, guys, actually right beneath Denny McCarthy is Harris English, Georgia boy Harris English, who has made 3 straight cuts at this tournament over the last 4 years. He's a golfer that has made 2 straight cuts on the PGA Tour as well. He's been playing some good enough golf. He's a golfer that does have a win over his past 7 starts as well, which obviously bodes well for him. Kind of a random win there for him, but still, it's there, and that upside is still going to be there for him. I think he's a great chance for us to make the cut, especially at cheap price tag. Same thing with JT Poston, who is playing at the Valero Texas Open, will have then made 8 straight make cuts on the PGA Tour. He's also someone that's made 2 straight cuts at this tournament. A relatively good play as well. These 3 plays that are sub 7K are very easy, okay, to click on, and they actually allow us to fit a player like Scotty or Rory into our builds pretty easily. So if you guys want to get there with those 2 or 3, I think that is a decent route to go, because with them, you're just hoping that they make the cut, and those 3 golfers present a good likelihood to make the cut. Then obviously another way of looking at the best values is just by looking at it from a point per dollar perspective, like on DraftKings with their pricing. So guys, course history is going to be a thing that does matter a bunch this week. And so I've mentioned this a bunch, but the data will be updating come Monday morning, probably maybe even Sunday afternoon, depending on when the PGA Tour gets their data updated from the Valero Texas Open. And so a player like Davis Thompson and Taylor Pendrith that are both popping up as really good point per dollar plays, they're going to be reduced a little bit because we are going to be factoring in course history, golfers having starts at the Masters tournament. But still, on paper, there are some pretty good GPP plays. We just typically want to be targeting golfers that have some course experience. Now from there, Patrick Cantlay, you guys are seeing he's popping up as one of the best point per dollar plays. It's another way of looking at value. Typically, I'm looking at golfers that are like 7K and lower for like values. But but Patrick Cantley's popping up there, Jason Day, Denny McCarthy, Seb Straka's another one as well. So there are a lot of good values to the point where I really don't think that any golfer should really be too chalky as it currently sits. That is how soft the pricing is. To me, I made probably 15 builds already by hand, and they all are a little bit different because there isn't one like standout play that we just absolutely need to get to. Okay, they all maybe have a slight flaw, maybe an upside, maybe in safety, maybe in stat fit, but they're all good enough. Like we have extremely soft pricing. So don't go too crazy with a golfer this week. Maybe Patrick Cantley is a solid play at his price tag. That might be my most exposed. Maybe Corey Connors, maybe Keegan, maybe Denny. But the thing is, none of them are locked in those. They're just all very good plays at their price tag. So lots of great values this week. Now, I do know I'm going to get some questions about someone like Patrick Reed, who, if we pull up his Masters profile, we're mostly going to like what we have seen, right? He is someone that does have course experience. Now, the issue with live golfers is that they all, besides Bryson, basically finished worse than expected, about 7% worse than expected based off of their live golf starts. If you translate that over into like the majors, the calculation is about 7%. Now that's from last year, well, 2 years ago now, not taking into account last year's data. To me, it's good enough. Bryson was like the only golfer that exceeded expectations, obviously winning. Patrick Reed is also someone that had a little bit of random results because he's not exactly someone that's been dominating on live golf tour, but he has been playing well at the Masters, which is a tournament that he typically plays well at. And so I don't mind him as a value. Obviously, he has really good course experience here. And so at his price tag for DraftKings, I think you can get to him. And just as an FYI, guys, the Masters website is a great resource just for if you guys want to just look at a lot of stuff there from golfers. Like Daniel Berger, for example, is a golfer that does rank out really well. He's a golfer that is playing at the Valero Texas Open. Depending on how he finishes, that may or may not get me on him more, but he's going to be a good stat fit. Does have Masters course experience. Did finish T50 in his last start here. Missed a cut in 2021, but really overall pretty solid stuff from him. 10th, 27th, and 32nd. Now, we only look at the past 4 years course history-wise, because that's when the data is the most significant and relevant to like predictability. But when we're looking at Daniel Berger and his maybe lackluster course history here over the past 4 years, we got to remember that he is someone that was banged up for several years or like 3 years. And so with that, we can kind of just write that off a little bit given the fact that he's playing great golf here. And I do like the fact that we can look back and see that when he was healthy, he did at least play this course and tournament pretty well. And now, guys, I'm not saying that you need to do this, but like just looking at some of the best values that we have, those 7K and below plays, like Denny McCarthy, Lucas Glover, and Harrison English, they're kind of easy clicks at their price tags. Again, there are just different lineup paths that you can go. I'm just showing you guys this. Like, you could easily fit in Scotty and Rory into your builds, and then you have 6.9 left over. Sure, you might not like the rest of the options here. Probably going with someone like JT Poston, maybe go with a good stat fit and overall play of Taylor Pendrith, who doesn't have that course experience, could go that route. Maybe you're a little bit worried about Rory and his lackluster performances at this tournament in the past. That's fine. You could easily get to someone like Colin Morikawa. Then you have 7.5 left over. Then you can get to, well, Patrick Reed, for example, Daniel Berger, for example, Keegan Bradley. It's just super easy to make a bunch of lineup paths work, and that's the point of showing you guys all the top values. Now, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Do want to just call out the 9 to 5 membership. You guys will get access to all the fantasy golf tools available on the 9 to 5 website for just $10 a month. Including that is going to be props, tools, datas as well for PrizePicks and Underdog with all the various sports as well. Again, all that is going to be available for just $10 a month. Head on over to the pricings and plans tab to sign up. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure to give a like and subscribe. That does help out the channel a bunch, especially this week for the Masters Tournament, where there are going to be a lot of people that typically maybe aren't watching the content, and that's just an easy way to help out the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck, and as always, let's keep cashing.